Welcome to the Museum of Policing in Devon Cornwall. We are passionate about ensuring that the policing history from all across this beautiful area is well cared for, respectfully categorised, and is made easily accessible to the generations of today and tomorrow. For the last 200 years, policing has played a significant role in the communities of the South West, both big and small. The police have been present at every major event that has shaped our communities, and thousands of daily interactions that have defined what it means to be the policing duty of helping and protecting the public. At the heart of every one of these stories is a member of the constabulary, and what wonderful stories they are to tell. It's my delight to introduce to you some of the people who are part of our museum and who are working really hard to bring the past into the present. Let's hear from our three locations: the Devon Records Office, Okehampton Police Station, and, first of all, Tavistock.
I'm John Casson, MBE, former Devon and Cornwall police officer, left the force after a very, very happy 8 years. I became involved in the museum in 2013. From 2019 to 2021, I was the chair, and then I'm now the patron. Way back to the days of joining the police in 1979, there was a great museum at police headquarters in Exeter, and that was started by some PCs who realised that Devon and Cornwall Police has got a very, very rich history and started collecting. And we owe an awful lot to those two men that started this museum. It basically explains how we get to where we are with policing today. It's as simple as that. And policing is a very, very complex subject. It reminds us of the rich past that gives us the police force that we have today. And it's important to keep that alive.
I'm Ulrike Richards. I'm the vice chair of the museum. I joined it in 2019. I think it's just amazing when you see the collection, how much there is. And we don't even know what we have yet. There's so many things that haven't even been catalogued yet. We believe we might be the biggest police museum in the UK in terms of items that we have. The police gets a lot of bad press, and this is one of the things we can do to help, get better publicity and actually show all the history and the importance and the community importance of all of it. But also in terms of the actual collection, the paper archive, there's so many stories there, photographs. I mean, it's an absolute gem, it's an absolute treasure. Our natural target group are kind of already connected to the police, so we would like to widen that out a little bit. But since we have the pop-up museum here, a lot of interest, especially from children. They're excited about all the interactive stuff that we do, the fingerprinting and trying out the uniforms and putting on the helmets and pressing buttons with sirens. I would like to have more of a presence than just in Tavistock, because Devon and Cornwall Police is all over the place, and so would we like to be. So we would like to do more pop-up exhibitions and maybe have a second base at some point somewhere else in the county.
My name's Greg, I'm the Chief Executive for the museum, have been for the last 3 years. Find myself up here in Okehampton with you today. This is home to the objects collection of the museum, which I tend to think is the soul of the place. We have the archive in Exeter, we have our little mini museum in Tavistock, but it's here in Okehampton that you really feel the heartbeat of the place. This is where we keep literally thousands of objects of policing ephemera, dating all the way back to 1790. We work very closely with Devon and Cornwall Police and have done for the last 3 years. They've been very generous in supporting everything that we do here at the museum. So we've got members dotted around all over the Southwest who are incredibly supportive of what we do and both astonishingly loyal, and we thank them. A lot of the work that we've been doing up here in Okehampton is digitisation. We've got so many fascinating objects, as you'll see. We've been committing a lot of those to photography, putting them through a bit of a production line to photograph them and get them available online. So there is an absolute treasure trove of material coming through from the digitisation work, which we think is good value for membership, just to sit in the comfort of your own armchair and browse through the ephemera of 2 centuries of policing here in the Southwest. Up to now, we haven't done a great deal of work with schools and colleges liaison, and partnerships over the next 4 years are going to be increasingly important for us. So we'd love to get groups of school children down to us to see us in Tavi, and perhaps work more closely in partnership with our friends over the road at the Guildhall as well, where the Magistrates Court and the former custodial cells are all located. We think we've got a good offering, and we've actually been working very closely on putting together the new forward plan for the museum, which will take us through with the support from the Police and Crime Commissioner all the way through to 2029. Part of our challenge is to, if you like, wrap around other projects around that core activity. So we'll be looking to make some improvements to the museum's sustainability and grow our membership cadre and reach out to local businesses and just continue to engage the public and improve the visibility of the heritage of Devon and Cornwall Police.
I'm Ali Holmes, the curator of the Museum of Policing in Devon and Cornwall, and the job of a curator is to find the creative ways of displaying this collection. It doesn't always speak for itself. You quite often have to speak for it or find a way of helping it to connect with people, and that's the real magic of the job, is finding items that have that connection with human beings and with the audiences that might come to visit us. Whether you know nothing about policing history, or you've been in the force, or even are currently serving in the force, there's something for everyone. One of the wonderful things about digitisation is it makes our objects accessible to everybody, no matter where they are or what their level of interest is. So we've been going through our boxes and photographing the contents with a view to eventually being able to really show what we have online. But in the meantime, we're using it as a way of connecting with our social media visitors and sharing stories through that.
Right, my name is Andrea Leggett. I am the Project and Digital Support Officer. Basically, that means I'm a bit of a person Friday, just whatever needs doing gets done. But one of my main jobs is digitisation of the collection. One of the things is a truncheon, or sometimes it's classed as a tipstaff, and it has a little crown on the top. And it is all hand painted, and it's got gold leaf on it. And it's one of those things that when I opened the box and actually looked inside, actually just took my breath away. I never knew that there were such things were created. And it's still to this date my absolute favourite piece. So knowing that a person has actually, created that with their own hands, and not only that, then they have actually painted it, sign written it, put the gold leaf on it, just spent so much time actually creating something that is quite amazingly beautiful, and then it would have been given to a parish constable, who then would have carried it as his badge of office. It is quite something to hold that in your hands. It really is.
My name is Keith Tester. I volunteer for the Museum of Policing in Devon and Cornwall. I love it. We go into a box, and you open a box up and you find an officer's history. It could be a uniform, it could be a truncheon, it could be a whistle, anything and everything. We've had paperwork, all sorts, and I love opening up the boxes because you never know what you're going to find. Andrea's my partner, and when she was taken on by the museum, I'd have retired, and it was one of those things that they got to, as I say, 2 for the price of 1, and it's just great, and to get out and away from home when you're retired, it's nice to have a purpose, to be able to come and for me, I'm 68 and I need to keep the grey matter working, and it's nice to be able to learn about all of this.
I'm Andrew Vilcox. I'm the Police Project Archivist. Here we are at the Devon Heritage Centre, and this is where we actually keep the police Moppet Act material i.e. the paper records, so we've got the volumes, photographs and the records that the police used in their day-to-day duties. So among the volumes, and probably the material that is most used by our family researchers, would be the nominal rolls, and those effectively record police officers as they joined, all their personal details. It maps out their career and the date they eventually retired. My day-to-day activities are cataloguing new material that comes in. I manage a very enthusiastic band of volunteers, so they're here for 1 day a week. Another important job is answering queries. We get 1 to 2 queries a week. It's usually from people looking for photographs or information about their ancestors, so their father, the grandfather, great-grandfather, and that's really been picking up. Now the collection is catalogued and online. Obviously you can search that very easily, which leads to further queries. People can actually find their ancestor's name and say, oh, what have you got? And they send me a query and I can look up it to see exactly what we have got on that ancestor.
The rich history of policing in Devon and Cornwall is filled with extraordinary stories of ordinary people who did things that, to our ear, sound in many ways heartwarming and occasionally heartbreaking, but in their own words were all in a day's work. I hope you've really enjoyed this glimpse into the past and found it to be of interest. You can learn a lot more by visiting our great website. We are a charity, and preserving and presenting the past does cost money. You can support us by making a donation of any size or becoming a member. You can also help us by sharing what you've learned today with your friends and family and pointing them in our direction. Thank you for watching, and I'm really looking forward to meeting you again soon.